welcome to Ask an Armourer. My name's Kia, and you might notice today I am not in my usual spot. That's because I have actually been finally given access to my new armory space and fencing style, and I'm here today trying to set it up. So I thought I'd bring you along with me as we turn a little bit of chaos into a little bit of order and go through some of the organization process of creating a new armory. Let's go. So for those curious, this is what the space is looking like right now. As you can see, absolutely no storage solutions whatsoever, masks just piled everywhere, bags everywhere, stuff everywhere. So we're gonna see what we can do about it. Alright, so here we go. It hasn't changed that much, but just trying to keep things a little bit neater, a little bit together. Obviously this is not the end storage solution. We just wanted to get everything in here and slightly more organized than what it was. And also obviously off of the main floor in the dance studio slash fencing cell so that it can be used. And today we're continuing the chaos that is moving to and organizing a new armory. I've got a couple assistants with me today, and you might see a big blob of something over here in the corner. This is a wardrobe that is going to become part of the storage, and first we need to get everything out of there so we can actually put it somewhere. Let's get started, and hopefully this works the way I've imagined it. This is going to kind of be a hodgepodge video. I'm going to give you a few updates on the new armory. As you can see, that's where I'm sitting right now, as well as you can probably see the pile of lames here that I have to double check to see if they're working and figure out what I need to do to wash them, patch them, etc. I'll also just give you a bit of a tour of everything else that's been going on and start the process for reinstalling our wall-mounted scoring system. Also, I'll apologize right now. Kendo is currently practicing outside my door right now as we share our space, so it's a little noisy. I'll see how this works though. So, with that being said, let's get started. So first, here we go. This is a bit of a look at what the armory currently looks like now. It is chaos. It will remain chaos. But it is at least controlled chaos that I somewhat know where things are. So we have a pile of my spare, handles and guards over here, random other pile of other things in a box that I have not yet figured out where to go. That is my lost and found, so everybody has one of those. As I mentioned in our intro, we've got a pile here. These are the saber lames, and on the floor there, those are my foil lames that I need to double check. Bunch of weapons over there in the corner that need to be fixed. Bunch of various cords in here in my broken pile. And as you can see, I am still just using a 6-foot folding table as my workbench. It's not ideal, but this is what I have until I can actually get my proper custom built workbench in. We have some team bag storage and some coaches storage over here. We have this lovely little desk for doing administrative things or holding boots, apparently. And finally, we have this over here, which just holds, let me just remove my sign-out sheet. This is the wardrobe that you saw previously in this. Unfortunately, my camera did not decide to record that entire sequence of unloading it and getting it in here. But look, isn't it pretty? I got it free off of Facebook, and it already came with some, you know, lace detailing. Prettiest armory ever. But yeah, we open this up, and this is just where we keep competition stuff nicely hung up and organized so that when we actually get back to tournaments, it is ready to go for us. So here's the super fun times checking all of my lames. This is my assistant for the day. As you can see, every dot here indicates the line between where the lame is now working and where it's dead. So clearly we have a good bit of patching to do here. This one already is checked, and basically the entire front needs to be repatched, but that's okay. It'll be a Franken lame. They'll be very pretty, I'm sure, just in time for Halloween. Alright, and while Cindy continues to work her way through the jackets to see what's going on, I am taking this completely dead lame here. Like, seriously, it was either not giving me any response or was in the triple-digit ohms. But, you know, the zipper's still in great shape, so I am salvaging that one to use, I don't know where, but it still works, so it seems a shame to throw it out. Alright, so it's a few hours later. We have now gone through and checked every single practice lame that we have. I have another big bag here to go back to my place so that I can wash them, and then hopefully that will reduce the ohmage on some of them so that they're good for practice again. Some of them just need a patch, so we'll also bust out the sewing machine to take care of that. But yeah, lots of work done, lots more work to do, as is always the case. And yeah, thanks for coming along, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Hi everyone, welcome back to Ask an Armourer, and today I'm really excited. I'm going to give you a final tour of my new armory. As you can tell by this video, it's been a bit of a work in progress. I got moved here quite suddenly. It was not very well planned out, but we've made the best of it, and now I've finally been able to get my vice bench back and get all my tools set up and all of my storage back in place as best that I possibly can, with a few nice little additions, if I do say so myself. So I'm just going to show you around all of the last minute things that we've done. And yeah, this is one example of what a varsity team level armory looks like. So we start, and I just have a few knicky-knackies. You know, my high school fencing coach's daughter drew that for me at one point when she was like 4 years old. You know, have a few other things for the team. A old layout plan that I just keep because it's so very pretty. And then when we open the door, you are greeted by, on one side, this is my storage table. So we've got big boxes of extra handles, extra guards, everything that you need to put together a large, or the large end of a weapon. There's my tripod. Wasn't sure if I was going to need it, so that's just laying there. And underneath is storage of big things. This bag here is lost and found. And underneath here is storage of other things. We don't get into that frequently, but are still quite useful. So this bag is lost and found. That's a foam roller. I believe that's a running ladder, some socks and gloves that we have, a first aid kit. I think our video systems are under there. All sorts of things, again, we don't get into that frequently, but are very useful to have around. Then on the other side of the door, I have installed one of these little coat rack thingies, which makes life much easier. And then underneath it is all of our various extra paperwork. So we have pool sheets, we have practice team bouts, we have fitness regimens, and a bunch of clipboards for using those, and all of our stopwatches of various types. Finally here we have our, so this is my broken pile. As you can see, there's a lot in there, but don't worry, I have plans to finally fix those in the new year, as well as we do have lots of extras that are actually working, so I'm not too worried about this. Next to that is our desk for doing paperwork. In our old armory, it was a bit of an issue. The only flat working surface was my workbench, which was an issue if we needed to do any paperwork, and I also needed to repair equipment. There was that, it wasn't good. So now we have this as an extra one, lots of paperwork in there, and extra blank pages, some cleaning supplies, always critical for COVID times. And in addition, we have this secondary tabletop for somebody to work on. Here's my main tools that are used. Here's the larger tools. Here's the rest of storage. Down there you can see my extra test boxes. That's a little soldering kit right there. Here is all of my extra body cords. There are 4 bags in there for the 4 main types we have. Various extra stuff. My handy dandy towels. That's a pile of blades that I need to fix, as is that. We'll get to it, I promise. And then back there are extra blades, small bits, another blade epee that is snapped in half that I need to salvage pieces from. And then my fancy dancy custom workbench. It is tall enough that a blade can happily fit into my vise without having to be bent to awkward angles to get into it. I installed some computer speakers because yes, I still use an iPod Classic. Best reactions in the comments, because pretty much everybody is shocked and in awe when they see this. But here we go. And then over here I keep my, little Favero test box with another octopus cord that I specifically built for this. And then when we turn around, we have the coaches rack. As you can see, we have all of our various heavy-duty coaching jackets there, some of their masks, and underneath we have extra bags full of our spare team weapons. We do have a rack full of weapons over on the other side, but this is where I keep the extras, and then when we eventually are hopefully able to go to team tournaments again, these are what I'm going to pack up and hand to the team captains to say, this is your responsibility for the weekend. If anything breaks, let me know, but there's multiple of them. You get to deal with it. Coaches bags, and then in here, just again, some extra parts that we really don't get into that frequently, and a wardrobe for our competition quality lames that I keep in here so that they're nicely hung up and don't get all squashed and broken because they're just, on a shelf somewhere. Again, competition ready masks that I keep separate from our practice ones, because our practice ones are fine for safety but might not have the correct conductivity levels to work for tournaments. And there you go, everyone. This is my armory. So if you're ever around and want to come drop by and say hi, I am probably here most of the time. Well, at least when COVID lets up and we're actually allowed to come back to places like this. But yeah, I spent a lot of time here. I'm very proud of how it's finally gotten set up. I hope it gives you some ideas if you're looking to set up your space, or if you already have a space and are just trying to revamp it a little bit. The key, obviously, is lots of storage and lots of flat surface area for maximum amount of things that you keep in here and then can continue to work on. So thanks for coming along on this kind of chaotic journey, and I will see you in the next one. If you like this, please be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or other topics you'd like me to cover in the future, let me know down below. See you in the next one. Bye.